This is my review of the two shows from last night, that being the final Night Callers and the final Bigfoot Quest. Well, at least the final Bigfoot Quest on Blog Talk Radio. Night Callers was pretty great. We had a fellow call in, can't remember what his name was, Jeff something. No, I don't think it was Jeff. Mad Crash, that was it, Mad Crash. He called in and he talked to us about that he's very interested in the Sasquatch, and he's very interested in the research going on in excuse me, in Texas. He actually lives in Texas, and he said he was a big fan of Laurie's and Luke's, and I believe the Night Callers show. There was also discussion, we kind of continued a little bit of the discussion that we had the other night on Skype about how Sasquatch survives in the desert. And Hawk was telling us about there's a type of pear that grows on cactus, and that if you're careful, you can carefully, very carefully pluck the pear, even though it's very prickly, much like a cactus, much like the cactus it comes from. If you're very careful with it, you can actually eat it, and also get a water resource out of it. A lot of people know that you can get water out of a cactus in the desert. Not to mention that there were food sources that we discussed: rabbits, sage, all kinds of lizards and coyotes. I suggested that perhaps Sasquatches in the desert do prey and feed on coyotes, which I think is a very viable situation. I think they do. I think they do feed on coyotes. What else do they feed on that we talked about? They feed on like snakes, things of that nature. And there are types of fruits out there. We talked about how some of the outlying areas, there are some farms out there they could probably find food at. And we had Laurie Phillips with us as well, and she talked about how much she's going to miss the Bigfoot Truth and Lies show. It was great to hear from her. It was a great show, and I was fortunate and honored to be a part of it. We really had a great time. Then over on the Bigfoot Quest, it was their last show on Blog Talk, and they were talking about the final show, this being the final show on Blog Talk. I called in and I talked about the upcoming special that's coming up next Wednesday night on the History Channel, the one I've been promoting pretty heavily, called Bigfoot: The Definitive Guide. Also talked about the last HBM's Cryptid-Corner, which will air tonight, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, www.blogtalkradio.com/HBMs-crypto-corner, with our guests Abe Del Rio and Darren Richardson. And I also talked about, I told Bob and Mike thanks for all the years. They had done the show, and that we'd missed the show if it didn't come back, and we're going to miss it while it's gone. Hopefully they'll find a new home. I'm hoping. We're hoping anyway. And it was a pretty great send-off for two great send-offs for two great shows. And then this Sunday night on Night Callers, www.blogtalkradio.com/nightcallers, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, their guest will be Winona Alexis, who will talk about the Native American aspects of the Sasquatch and some of the stories she has heard from her elders. It's always interesting to hear the Indian perspective or the First Nations perspective on Sasquatch, Bigfoot. I think it's important that we always remember the Native American legends, and I think the best book out there about the Native American legends is Kathy Strain's Giants, Cannibals, and Monsters: Bigfoot in Native Culture, which is available on Amazon. And it's an excellent book. I happen to have a copy of it, which I got Kathy to sign a couple of years ago. And it's a tremendous book. If you're wanting to know about the Native American aspects and the legends and things like that. But anyway, the blog talk shows, they're falling by the wayside, and it's mainly because of Blog Talk's new policies, unfortunately. But I'm sure there'll be shows. Some of these shows may come back on another network. But in the meantime, you'll still have Abe Del Rio's MNBRT Radio. I don't know what Abe and Evie have planned for next Monday. But it'll begin at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. www.blogtalkradio.com/MNBRT. There'll still be night callers. There'll still be TCSJR Bigfoot. There'll still be Bigfoot Tonight also. So not all shows are going away on Blog Talk Radio, which is a good thing. And check your local listings on that History Channel special. Whatever channel the History Channel airs on in your area, consult it, and that'll be for the upcoming next week's Bigfoot: The Definitive Guide. For all the Blog Talk shows, of course, we do encourage you to please tune in and support great research.